Hi everybody, it's Lene. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel today. If you've been watching my channel for the last month, you might recognize this paper, Honeybee with the cute gnomes on it. It was the only paper I didn't use from a recent project where I used Gnomes and More Gnomes 6x6 patterned cardstock from Hot Off the Press, available at paperwishes.com. It's listed down below the video in the supply list under Paper Wishes. And it was the only paper I didn't get a chance to use, so I promised you I would be using it. So here we are. Now, I want to do a different kind of a book cover where, unfortunately, I went to Costco today. Oscar was very happy to get his little dental chews. So I'm going to be using corrugated cardboard, which I've not done before on this channel, using corrugated cardboard for the cover. This is why we're going to be doing a cover well, I'm going to be cutting the cover, the cardboard rather, to 6.5 inches by 6.5 inches times 2 pieces, okay? And the reason I'm doing that is because this is 6x6 paper, and if I trim it or I fold it under to do a cover, it's going to lose some of the adorable pieces at this bottom border. So we're going to construct the cover, cover it with black cardstock, and then we're going to put these adorable pages right here to be making, I don't know, a 6x6 book, well actually it's only about 6.5 inches by 6.5 inch book, journal. We'll see where the day takes us. So I'm going to cut this cardboard down to 2 6.5 inch squares. All right, I've almost got mine cut down, but I wanted to give you a tip. If you're using an X-Acto knife or a paper trimmer to do this, I like to cut it, let's go 6.5, and then you're just going to be cutting it through really on one side, like this, okay, and then you can just take a pair of, don't use your nice paper scissors, if you have nice paper scissors set aside, use the old junky ones, because cardboard's not great for scissors. There we go. Okay, so I've got my 8-inch square. If you've got a bunch of little pieces like this left, just throw them away. I threw them on the floor. My dog's gonna have a heyday with that later. All right, so don't get after me. I do not let my dog eat cardboard. He will find them before I have a chance to pick them up though. All right, we're gonna trim that down a little bit. Now we're going to take some glue and we're just going to put this on some 8x8 black cardstock. You can use whatever you want, whatever color. I'm just choosing this one. You don't have to use cardstock. You could use paper. All right, let's move this out of the way. Okay, now, whoops. All right, so we're going to go ahead and use the one that has been sitting up a little bit that I already made. And then we're going to trim the corners of these papers. But I want you to see, I'm leaving that much there. Okay, let's measure that. It's a good 1/8 of an inch. I'll write that down in a moment. And the reason we're leaving an 1/8 of an inch is when we fold this cardstock around to the cardboard side of the paper, we don't want it to have the corner be cut so close, because this corner could just peek out. We don't want that. So it's better to have a little too much black cardstock and kind of smush it down than to have too much, not enough, and have the cardboard stick out. So trim, point, like, what should we say? Like trim the triangles? Okay, so trim corners, leaving 1/8 of an inch. Ooh, I got blue on me. All right, so now what we're going to do is go ahead and go around and fold like this. Now, if you don't have a good strong paper glue to use on this part, you could use double stick tape. You could use hot glue, okay? Because this cardboard makes it a little trickier. Here we go. And I think I'm going to use some tape. I'm using 1/2 inch wide extra sticky tape. This is from Paper Wishes, but you could use any kind of double stick tape that you wanted. as I said, or glue or hot glue. I just like using tape because it doesn't make things like bumpy like hot glue is. Now I've already stuck down one of the sides here, and we're just going to take this piece off, and sometimes using a little pokey tool helps that along. There we go. All right, I like kind of attaching opposite sides, so that way when you do it the other way, you get a nice little mitered corner. All right, now what's going to happen is we're going to take paper and we're going to glue over this, over the edges. So if this pops up on you or something like that on the edges, don't worry about it, because it's going to have something glued on it that's going to keep it really, really secure. Now notice here, sometimes we have these little pokey things right here from when we did the little mitering. So you could just take a knife or a bone folder or something like that, and then you can just kind of go over that edge to kind of push that down so it's not looking quite so sharp. There we go. And then there. Okay, I'm going to do the other side. I wanted to show you my little oopsie. I cut one of these corners too close, and this is what happened. We have this little gap here. If this happens to you and you've already got your tape down and you're like, oh no, just take something and just pry up your paper, what have you, just like this. And I'm just going to take a little glue, put it right in there. And I just took a bad triangle. For those of you who are good at math, what exact kind of triangle is that? Or rather shape, what is that? My daughter would know. All right. And we're just going to kind of shove that up into that point so that it's black instead of cardboard. All right. And remember, I told you how we're going to cover most of this up with paper, but not that point. All right, for our pages, we're going to take 2 sheets, or actually 3 sheets of 12 by 12 cardstock. It'd be any color you want. I'm just choosing white. And we're going to cut them in half. We have 2 6 by 12s, all right? And now we're going to take each one of these and we're going to fold them in half. And getting a nice crease there is important. And we're going to do that to get 6 pages. Actually, more than 6 pages, but you get my point. We're going to do this 6 times. All right, so there it is. 3 12 by 12 white cardstock, cut to 6 by 12, and then you're going to fold in half. And then all of the little folds are going in one direction. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do an accordion fold as our binding. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we really don't need this side yet. We're going to take and we're going to glue this first page as the liner page right here. Okay, so this is going to cover the cards, the unfinished cardboard, and this is going to be page 1 right here. And the most important part of this is just making sure you get enough glue around the outside edges, but not so much that you're going to squish it out from underneath the paper, or rather underneath the cardstock. And for both of these, both the black cardstock and the white cardstock, I'm using 70-pound cardstock. If that means something to you. So it's not very thick. All right. So for the next one, we're going to take another sheet, a folded sheet here, and instead of putting it like this where we have the pages open like that, we're going to turn it like this, and we're going to glue them together like this, but we're going to make a pocket at the top, but it's going to be accordion. All right, so for this one we're going to take glue and we're going to do it in a U shape, leaving it opened at the top. Okay, like this. And you just want to make sure that the fold is like this. Okay. And then we're just aligning those pages. So this is what it looks like so far. All right. Now, we can go back when we're done and we can put a notch at the top of the pocket so that it's obvious that it's a pocket. All right, but we're gonna just go ahead and continue to do the accordion folding for now. All right, so for this one, we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna leave it sitting up like this. For this one, we want the fold to go in this direction this time. All right, so let's go ahead and do that U shape gluing. Kind of far away from the fold on this side. There we go. Okay, I'm going to open this up so you guys can see. Really making that U adhere well. Okay, that's what we're looking like. This is our pocket right here. All right, so on this one, we want it to be on this side. The fold is going to be on this side. So I'm going to go ahead, trying to keep the gluing all happening on the connected page here. So hopefully that makes it easier to understand. Okay. Okay, now this time the fold is going this direction. I'm just gonna make sure it's all aligned. Okay, I'm just gonna keep doing that. All right, so I've got one of these glued down. Before we do this one, I'm just using a little bit of upside down charcoal ink. And I'm just gonna use the surface of the ink pad and just go right over the edges of this, just like that. And we're going to put some glue. We don't want to get too close to the edge because the glue will just squish out, but we want enough to make sure especially the corners are well glued. We're just going to put that right in the center. Okay, now obviously this is the front and back cover. Oops, a little too much glue there. All right, so I got to this point and I want this last page to open like a traditional page and get glued right there. But in order to do that, I only used 5 of my 6x12 sheets. Okay. So in order to make that happen, you would need to do this in odd numbers. So if you wanted to add more pages, 5 of the 6x12s, 7 of the 6x12s. Okay. So this one is going to get glued all the way around like that. And then we want to center this one. And not only are we centering this white paper with that black border around it, we also want to make sure that the covers, the front and back cover, are also aligned. Just like that. So everything is squared up and nice. All right, so that's how our little accordion book is looking so far. And now we can actually take, this is a circle punch or a hole punch? Circle punch, yes. It's a 2-inch wide circle punch. This is on my Amazon store down below the video. And I am just going to take this circle punch. And normally I would do this like before we were all glued together, but I wanted to make sure everything was making sense. Whoop, just like that. And then you can do another one kind of lined up with the first one. It just looks nice if they're aligned, but you know, do what works for you. Like that. And I'm just going to keep making those little pockets. So we have 4 pockets, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we have the back and front pages. All right, to decorate this inside, front, and back cover, I wanted to take the last sheet, because I had 3 of these out of the 4 left over from our last project using this paper pack. It normally comes with 4 sheets like this. I used 1 of them in the other project. So I'm going to take that and I cut the 6 by 6 down to 6 by 3 for 2 pieces. We're going to make a little pocket. I am going to trim just a tiny bit off of the left edge because we don't want it to interfere with the fold of the book. So we're just going to put those together, and I'm just trimming off a tiny little bit, like that's about a 1/16. All right, the other thing I'm going to do while I'm holding these together is I'm going to go ahead and put a little notch in here. Let's make sure we do this wisely and don't cut off too much of that B. Let's just do it like this. There we go. Okay, put this away. All right, and then we can just take our charcoal ink pad and just add a little bit of ink. Lately I've been doing a lot of just direct to surface inking using the ink pad surface to the paper just to save a little bit of time. I think it just gives it a nice little finished look. All right, so we're going to take one of these. One will go in the front, inside front cover. One will go in the inside back cover. I think I like this one on the inside front. It gives me a little room to do something with. The back of this is so pretty, and I probably would have used this, but the white on white was a little stark. All right, and then this will go right here, and I'll do the same thing with the back. See, we still have enough room here for that fold. It's not getting in the way. And then this is just a perfect little spot for those little cutouts that come with the paper pack. I inked the edges of these as well. Put a little gift card, special note in there. And then we've got these little cutouts too, which I thought were adorable. We'll see what we do with those. And I've got this whole pack of these little gold bee charms. And so I'm going to come up with something that we can use these with, because I think this is a great little album to put photos in the pockets, journals for journaling on the white pages. And so when we come back, I'm going to show you how I've decorated these white pages a little bit, continuing with the bee theme. All right, we're back with our finished album. So as you can see on the front cover, I wanted to add something generic for this little book, this little album. So I've chosen, this is black big greeting stickers. They're Dazzle stickers, and they're available at Paper Wishes. The link is down below the video. I just use a little pokey tool just to kind of lift these up and pull them off really easily. And the reason I just did happy instead of happy birthday or whatever else, I want to keep these really generic, so it would be ready to give away to one of my subscriber friends. I give away my projects every week, and how you participate is, first of all, you subscribe to my channel, you like, comment, and subscribe. And so give this video a thumbs up, it's right down below, and then leave me a comment, and then also definitely subscribe. And then you have to watch next week's video and see in the pop-up who won this little album book for their very own, and then I'll ship it to you for free. Now, if you're interested in helping me with a donation for shipping, which anybody can do, it would be so appreciated, because we do this little giveaway every week, and that's a lot of shipping that I pay for. So if you want to participate in that, there is a Buy Me a Cup of Coffee link down below the video, or there's also the Super Thanks that's right about here down below the video. That's through YouTube, and you can also do that. Let's see what else. Yeah, It'd be great if you would follow me over on Instagram. If you have an Instagram account, that would be so appreciated. It's really hard to get followers on Instagram, I'm finding, and I really need my YouTube friends to help me out with that. And I try to do 2 new videos a month. That's brand new content. So it's something different and I hope interesting for you to check out. All right, so what I did on the front cover to attach these cute little bee charms is I used some of this natural twine, and I wrapped it around just the front cover twice, and then threaded, tied a knot in it, then tied a bow, and then just tied these little cute bee charms to each end. And then on that little bow, I just added a little dot of glue just to keep that from untying. So that keeps that in place, and we have some cute little things there. If you're interested in this twine, it is not easy to find. I've searched high and low for this really nice little twine. Here's one that's almost gone. And it's hard to find a natural color twine that you can get in a large amount and that's this thin and fine. So the link for that is in my Amazon store, as are the little bee charms if you're interested. And that is down below the video as well. So let's take a look inside. All right, you guys. So I put color blocks of solid colored cardstock. This is the Be Happy solid 12 by 12 cardstock, also from Paper Wishes hot off the press down below the video, and it is an exact coordination with the Be Happy 6 by 6. So I cut these little mats down to 5 inches square, and I even put little pockets on the sides here. So I glued these 5 by 5 mats down. I also inked the edges of them with charcoal ink and glued those down right there, so you could slide something else just right in here. Okay, oops, just right in there. Then remember, you've got this pocket right here, and you've got this pocket right here. This thing is just loaded up with pockets. And if you want to put photos in this little book, this is a 4 by 4 photo, and on this little piece of art, I only glued it on 2 sides, leaving this open, and you can just put your photos just like that. Tied cute little lengths of black and white gingham ribbon onto some gold paper clips. And yeah, that just goes all the way across. Once again, great little place to tuck your photos right here. And then you guys, I added even more. If you turn this over on the back, there's even more. So this will hold a ton of photos, a ton of journaling. You could make it into a little travel journal. You could make it into a Father's Day gift, whatever you like. So thanks so much for watching this today, you guys. I hope you really enjoyed it. Like I said, give me a follow on Instagram. That would be really helpful. Like, comment, and subscribe here at Linnae Creates to be entered into win this little giveaway. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you in the next one.